Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Eachine Q90C Flyingfrog FPV RC Racing Quadcopter drone, supplied courtesy of Banggood.com for review. Now this is quite an interesting little craft. Comes in this nice box, very solid. Now this is primarily for people that want to get into flying FPV. A micro quadcopter is quite suitable and good for indoors too. Now this has brushed motors, not brushless motors, but you can fly in angle mode, horizon mode, and also acro air mode. So it does help you get used to it slowly. And one thing I find really good with this is that it has a wireless control simulator system, which basically means you can plug the quadcopter into a computer and then use the remote controller that comes with this to play simulator games like Freerider, which you can get for free, and I'll put a link in the description where you can get that too. And you don't have to worry about binding it with your own remote control transmitter because it comes with a remote control transmitter. It works on 5.8 gigahertz wireless. The transmitter also has vibration alerts for low battery and loss of signal or low signal. You have FPV. Comes with prop guards, particularly suitable for indoor flight to protect the propellers. Can get a 6-minute flight time. And as I've mentioned, you get the remote control with it. So if I open the box, here's the Flyingfrog. So in front here we've got a 1000 TVL camera, which is quite a good camera. It's not adjustable, it's in a fixed position. As you can see, this is a clear plastic and should actually also look quite good in the dark when the lights come on. This has 44mm tri-blade props. They're fairly flexible, but could be susceptible to damage quite easy if you're flying without the prop guards. The brushed motors are 85202S motors, which are quite high performance motors. And here's the micro USB port that you can plug a USB cable into and plug into a computer to play the simulator games. And you can also configure this with Betaflight. But this has already come pre-configured, so you don't really need to change anything in Betaflight. But it does give you the option and opportunity before you want to upgrade to experience Betaflight, should you wish to do so. Under the quad here, you've got little rubber landing feet. The battery connection is just a 2-pin LOTI connection, and here's an elastic band to secure the battery. So let me just unpack the rest of the contents in the box. So we get a 7.4 volt 2-cell 300 mAh 25C battery. And this should be good for a flying time of 6 minutes. If we look under here, this pops in just below the rubber band. Good to tuck this away out of the way of the propellers. And if we connect the battery, we can see a flashing red light and also a flashing blue light. No lights under the arms for orientation. So let me just disconnect for now. We also get an instruction manual on a piece of paper. Now you can choose whether this comes with goggles included or not. So there are a lot of instructions about the goggles on the back. And then gives you the basics you need to know without too much detail. On the other side here, we get 4 spare tri-blade propellers. Always good to have spare propellers. We get prop guards, which is good for flying indoors. And to put these on, you'll need to remove the propellers, which just pull off. And then you can just put the prop guards, push down and put the prop guards on. And just push the propeller back on. So I'm going to just leave the prop guards off. Then we also get the USB cable for charging the battery. You plug the balance plug of the battery into here, this into a USB port. A green and red light comes on, and the green light flashes, and when it's fully charged, the green light goes solid. We get a spanner for removing the props so you don't damage them. We get 3 spare elastic bands to secure the battery, which is very good. And we get 2 pieces of Velcro that you can put on the bottom and on the battery to help secure the battery in position. And then we get 2 gimbal thumb levers that just press into the gimbals on the radio control transmitter. There's no screws that secure them on, so just need to make sure you put them on quite securely. Gimbals feel quite maneuverable. This one is spring-loaded. It has a nice feel to it. It's got good grips. Does feel light. You need to supply your own 4 AA batteries that you put in here, and this just clips back on there. Turn on the main power button. You've got a power LED light, and it starts vibrating because it's not bound to the quadcopter yet. And I'll put a picture up now so you can see all the functions. And here's the button to press to play game if you want to practice on a flight simulator indoors. So those are all the functions. Let me turn this off. Connect up the quadcopter again. So I'll turn this back on now. It's not vibrating, so that tells me it's bound. Now to calibrate the gyros on this, you need to pull both sticks down to the bottom. Lights flash. And then that is it calibrated. And then to unlock the motors, throttle stick down and rudder stick to the right. Spin up the motors, and those are the motors going. And let's see what will happen if this goes out of range and loses signal. We turn it off, 1001. So within about a second it'll power down and drop wherever it is. Can we rebind with it? Yes, we can. So you can still try and fly it or dislodge it. So if you don't have goggles, you can pick it up on a DVR monitor. Or you could also get and use this ROTG01 5.8 GHz 150 channel receiver. Now this does have 8 channels, so it will pick up channels from here, and you can change the channels from 1 to 8. And this plugs into a mobile phone, and you can also record the flight on a mobile phone. I'll put a link in the description where you can get this too. And the VTX transmitter on this is a 25 milliwatt. So let's take it out and see how it goes. Okay, let's see how the Eachine Q90C goes. Turn on the TX radio control transmitter. Calibrate, pull both sticks down. Okay, I'm going to find the channel on my DVR. Okay, I picked it up on channel A3. Let's start recording video. Okay, that's video recording. Arm the motors. Ready to go. Okay, going to time the flight, start the clock, and take off in angle mode. Okay, it's in angle mode now, quite steady. Oh, it's really steady in angle mode. Take it up here. Oh, very smooth, very nice. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. Okay, just got to look carefully for orientation, the light. Okay, it flies nicely, responds well. Let's put it into horizon mode. Okay, now we're in horizon mode. Oh, quite a lot quicker and zippier in horizon mode. Still going very well. Back. Yo. Try and get control on this again. Okay, it really does go well. I think that was in echo air mode and not horizon mode. It does move, goes quite quickly. really be doing this FPV. All going nicely, going well. Going just over 2 minutes, well, nearly 2.5 minutes. Climbs really quickly too. Getting a low warning, not sure why. Might be low battery yet. Still flying well, but the radar control transmitter's vibrating. So we'll just keep it around and close, see how steady it goes. Really holds well, sounds nice, is fast, is powerful. But for a beginner, this is really good. Even for an intermediate, you know, it's not that straightforward. But, you know, nice little craft to learn and get into FPV with. I'm flying line of sight, waiting to see how it's going. I'll do an FPV flight on it now or later. I wish I knew why this transmitter was giving me an alarm. All going well. We're only going nearly 5 minutes. Okay, stop the clock. Okay, seems to have run low on battery at 5 minutes 15 seconds. Okay, so really flies nicely. Very fast, very agile. Put it up into the air rate and it really responds very well, very fast. We'll see what the video came out like. The FPV on the screen looked good. And I'll also do an FPV flight with it now and see what it's like with goggles on. A really nice, agile quad to fly.